Hello friends, this is Shurabnath and you are listening to Storytelling Station. Tonight I invite you into the world of mystery, where every clue hides a secret and every shadow tells a story. I bring you not one but two gripping tales. The first on the scent and the second fatal error, both masterfully written by H.A.Ripely. So sit back, listen closely, and let the mystery unfold.
I could not wait to be announced,
said George Collins, Florida's foremost prohibition agent and a great wit, as he stepped into Professor's office.
How long are you going to be in New York?
Asked Fordney as the two friends shook hands.
I am due back in Miami now,
Replied Collins.
but I wanted to congratulate you on your success in the Higgs murder case. I wish interesting things like that would happen in my game. However, I did have an amusing experience last December. Sneaky Joey, a stool pigeon, tipped me of a huge deal he said was working about 40 miles from headquarters. A narrow road through dense woods led to the spot. Arriving there, I found an old dilapidated shanty screened by trees. As I entered the woods, I smelled alcohol. Sneaky Joey was right. After all, I thought as I drove up to the shanty. I got out and peered cautiously around, but the place seemed deserted. After opening the door and entering the house, however, I knew liquor was not being made there. I searched the woods but found nothing. As I was driving back along the road at a good rate, I discovered the alcohol I smelled was coming from my own radiator. Imagine my chagrin.
The professor laughed heartily and said to his friend,
Stay over for my birthday party tonight. The ladies would love to hear that yarn of yours.
What did the professor find preposterous in Colin's story? Not even a prohibition agent would use alcohol in an automobile radiator in or about Miami. The oil and wine of merry meeting.
What did you think of the story, guys? If it was good, hit that like button and subscribe for more. Alright, let's get started with our next one, Fatal Error.
Crowley was an eccentric and taciturn old fellow, but I like him.
Remarked Fordney.
When he found dead last December, I took a personal interest in the case. Harold Blossom, his last known caller, had this to say of his visit. After leaving word at my hotel, where I might be reached if wanted, I arrived at Crowley's suburban estate shortly after 5 o'clock. I found him seated in the dusk at the end of his library table. Courteously enough for him, he waved me into a chair at the other end and invited me to dine with him at 8 o'clock. Reaching for my cigarettes, I remembered that Crowley did not permit smoking. His principal contributions to our discussion were his usual nods of approval, grunts, and monosyllables, very sparing of words. was Mr. Crowley. About 7 o'clock, the telephone rang and he asked me to answer it. It was my wife asking me to return at once to see an unexpected visitor. Finishing the conversation, I returned to my chair and after I explained the call, Crowley nodded, assent to my request to leave immediately. On the way out, as the lights had not been turned on, I bumped my head, which explains this bruise. Just as I reached the door, he called after me. See you tomorrow at 10. Although Bronson's telephone alibi was later proved sound, he had hardly finished his story before I was convinced he was implicated. Concluded Fordney. What directed suspicion to Bronson? The professor knew it would be take a keener pair of eyes than Bronson's to see a nod in the dark. The lights had not been turned on, remember? Darkness visible.
How do you like today's story, friends? If you enjoyed it, please give this video a like and share it with everyone. And don't forget to subscribe to the channel. I will be back with more stories like this right here. Also, make sure to hit the bell icon so you never miss a notification. That's all for today. Bye for now.